Hi, I'm Jamie, and today I'll be telling you stuff you need to know about basic car maintenance. First things first is how to release the bonnet. Somewhere around here you will find the bonnet release. You just give that a pull until you hear the pop. And then in underneath the lip there will be a safety catch you'll have to feel around for. You can give that a flick and that releases. And then the safety stand. The oil dipstick is generally coloured in a yellow, so you want to find that. We can pull that out and we want to wipe any excess oil off of the dipstick using a rag. Then put the dipstick back in, leave it for the second and pull that out. And we want the oil to be in between the two dots there on the dipstick. If you did need to top up the oil filler cap is generally somewhere nearby. If we did need to top the oil up, we remove the oil filler cap and we put a little bit of oil in there and then check. Another area to check is the coolant level. So with this vehicle, the coolant is in the bottle down here. We need to make sure that it's within the two marks that are on the side of the bottle when it's hot. Yep. And to fill that one, once again, remove the lid and top that up. It's best if you can to use commercially available coolant mix. And then we also have the washer fluid, which is generally in a bottle on the side, has the washer symbol on there. So we can just put normal water in there with a bit of washer fluid if you did have some as well. All right, so it's important to check a few things on your vehicle before you do any long distance trips, such as the oil, coolant, battery, and washer fluid. Your battery is another very important area, so we need to make sure that the terminals are nice and tight and also clean. So just a quick wiggle of the terminal, pop that cover, make sure that's nice and tight and clean as well. Okay, so a situation you might find yourself in is a flat battery. The best way to deal with a flat battery is to avoid it to start with. Make sure that everything's turned off when you leave your vehicle, any lights, any accessories in the vehicle. That way when you get back you won't find a drained battery. In the event that you do, a set of jumper leads can help you out. So to jump start a battery, first things first is to go to the vehicle with the battery that's dead. And what we want to do is connect the positive, which is the red, to the positive terminal on the battery. And then the earth can be either attached to the battery or to a metallic point on the motor if you've got one nice and handy. Need to make sure that they don't touch and create a spark. Okay, then with the other end, we'll be wanting to go over to another vehicle. You want to leave that vehicle running so that you're not accidentally also flattening that battery. And then once again, red goes to the positive and the black goes to the negative on the battery of the good vehicle. From there, you'll be fine to hit the key and make a start on the vehicle with the dead battery. Alright, once the car's running, it's important to then remove everything in the reverse. So you remove the negative and the positive off the good battery, and then over and remove the negative and the positive off the vehicle that did have the flat battery. Ideally, you then want to keep the vehicle running for a few minutes to put some charge into the battery. So go for a nice long run and then you should be good to go. If you have any problems from then on with a constant flat battery, best is to go and see a mechanic or a battery shop. Okay, checking tyre pressures. It's very important to have correct tyre pressures. It affects the handling of the vehicle and also make sure that you're getting good consistent wear across the tyre and you're not wearing them out too early. One thing you'll need is a tyre pressure gauge, and you'll need to know how much pressure to put in the tyres. Generally find that on the tyre placard, which on this vehicle we see right here in the door. So with your tyre gauge, you want to go over to the valve. We remove the cap and press the gauge onto the tyre. That's perfect. Now, how to change a flat tyre. So say this tyre is flat, we're going to need to change it and we're on the side of the road. First thing is you want to make sure that you're on a nice solid surface, so nothing too soft, so when we do put the jack underneath, it's going to hold the car nice and steady. From there we need to go and locate the spare tyre. In this vehicle, it's in the very back. Right, so inside the back here we have our toolkit, which we'll need to also help remove the tyre, and also our jack, which is hidden in a compartment in the back. So now we have all the tools that we need. What we need to do now is to remove the tyre. First thing, we need to loosen the wheel nuts. So while the wheel's still on the ground, we use the spanner to loosen the wheel nuts. If you find that it's quite tight, you can also use your foot to move as well. Need that one. So next we use the jack to lift the vehicle. Now you need to be careful where you put the jack under the vehicle. Always check the owner's manual to show us where to put that. Right, so now we have the wheel up in the air, we're right to remove the wheel nuts. Just take a hold of it, bit of a pull, and off that comes. And grab our spare. Okay, once we have the spare on, we can put the nuts back on. And just a quick tighten up, make sure that they're just firm for now. Now we're right to let the jack down. Then once we have it on the ground, all we need to do is make sure that the wheel nuts are nice and tight. There we go, spare wheel's now fitted. So you can see this tyre is quite a bit smaller than the normal tyre, so this is only for temporary use. So this will get you to the nearest tyre repair place. Also note that it's got a maximum speed of 80 kilometres an hour, so make sure you don't go anything over that. Okay, so while we have the back wheel off the car, I'll also show you the tyre wear. So what we're wanting to make sure is that the wear is nice and even across the tyre. There's no bald patches anywhere. And we also want to look at the tread wear indicator, which are these bars that are on the inside of the treads. So we always want to make sure that we've got plenty of space between the top of the treads and the tyre wear indicator. Other things to check is to make sure that all of your lights are working, so all of the indicators, the park lights, headlights and brake lights. You may need a friend to help you check the brake lights, so by pressing the brake pedal you should see them come on and off. Also checking on fuel, so you want to make sure you've got enough fuel for the journey. If you're not sure what type of fuel it takes, once again check the owner's manual. Handy little tip, you're not sure which side the fuel filler is, have a look at the fuel gauge. There's a small arrow alongside it that tells you which side. So there you have it. That's a few little tips to make sure that you keep your car safe and on the road. If you're ever unsure about anything, always seek professional's help. Go into your nearest mechanic or auto store and they should be able to help you out with any questions you have.